Hey guys, welcome to video number 5, or as I like to call it, El Cincadoro. Alright, so we're on to the next and last of the videos, and what caused the Martin Luther post his 95 Theses on the door in Wittenberg, Tetzel selling his indulgence. Luther's words are printed and spread all over Germany and attract many followers. Here you see some pictures from Wittenberg. Alright, next one. Think about it. In 1520, Luther refuses to recant, to take back what he said at Worms, and is excommunicated. He's kicked out of church. In 1521, he is declared an outlaw and a heretic. What caused that? The Pope realizes Luther is a threat to papal authority, and the Holy Emperor is a devout Catholic, and also feels threatened by the Emperor. The effect? That's slow, huh? Luther is sheltered by the Prince of Saxony, where he translates the Bible into German. Alright, so you get that. When he returns to Wittenberg, his followers have become a separate religious group, the Lutherans. Get it? The people who follow Luther are the Lutherans. Pretty creative name, huh, guys? I like it too. Alright, so we want to make this a pen. And it looks like I don't like that color at all. So we're going to make it, let's make it red. Red seems like a good color these days. Alright. There's the prince who helped him. So he kind of sheltered him from them. Grrr. Let them go. Let them go. Alright. What caused the peasant revolt in 1524? Causes excited by Luther's talk about religious freedom. The peasants' revolt, hoping for social and economic freedom and an end to serfdom. When the German armies of German princesses basically end the revolt. So when the armies of German princes at Luther's request crushed the revolt, killing thousands, previous supporters now turned against Luther. They turned against Luther because he said, go ahead and crush this revolt. Leads to some religious war between the Catholics and the Protestants. Charles V fought a 20-year war against the German Protestant princes and defeated them in 1547. But he could not force them to remain in the Catholic Church. So the fighting goes on for another 8 years. At the end of the 8 years, the Peace of Augsburg said, alright, let's have peace, and allowed the ruler of each German state to decide his or her own religious preference. Alright? This, I can guarantee you, not on the test. According to the map, by 1560 or so, which European countries became mostly Protestant? So you can see the purple line is the spread of Calvinism, the orange line is the spread of Lutheranism, the green is Roman Catholic, the orange areas are what become Lutheran, the pink is Anglican, the purple is Calvinist, and that's it. Alright, so you can see a very kind of clear pattern. Calvin continues the Reformation. I'm sure you're wondering, who is John Calvin? Well, I'm glad you asked. He was a law student in France. He was only 8 years old when Luther posted the Theses. Eventually, as a young, this should be like here, I think. Alright, eventually he publishes a book summarizing Protestant beliefs about God, salvation, and human nature. He didn't write the book when he was 8. He wrote it when he was much older. Look at the beard. He has to be older. Alright? Calvinism agreed with Luther, but added some new ideas. God decided everything in advance, including who will go to heaven and hell, predestination. So to prove that you were chosen, so what they're saying is God up here decides this person before he's born. He decides whether you're going to heaven or hell. You're predestined. Well, when you're on earth, you want to convince the people who live around you that you're chosen to go to heaven, according to Calvin. And The way you could prove you were chosen was to live a good life and work hard. He said the kings can't run the church. This becomes the Puritans. Here's our first real American tie-in. Puritans. And they believed in a theocracy, a church-led government. So that is Calvin. No relation to Simon or Theodore. Alvin, Simon, Theodore. Alright, what did Calvin's book say? A lot. Look how thick that book is. It would take you a long time to read it. He said, people are naturally sinful. We're bad people. You can't earn salvation. In fact, God already picked. We see this word again, predestination. God has already chosen the elect. The people will be saved. And from Calvin's book, you get a new religion, Calvinism. So you've got Lutheranism, Calvinism, which are these two new religions. They get along, but they're still fighting against some of the ideas of Roman Catholicism. Calvin moves to Geneva. The people of Geneva ask him to be their leader. He sets up a theocracy. Theo meaning God, crassy meaning government, a God government. Sets some strict rules. Religion classes are mandatory. No break clothing, no playing chords. They are Puritan. Strict punishment for breaking the rules, imprisonment, punishment, excommunication, or banishment. Heretics are burned at the stake. To many Protestants, Geneva is the model city. Protestants love Geneva. John Knox takes Calvin's ideas to Scotland. Alright, I can't do a Scottish accent, but I'm going to try. No, I don't even know what that was. Churches were governed by elder or presbyters. This became known as the Presbyterian Church. So now you've got Lutheranism, Calvinism, and Presbyterianism. They're all fairly close. Calvinism becomes the official religion of Scotland. They overthrow the Queen in the favor of her infant son. Today, most Protestant churches trace their roots back to Calvinism. Many have softened his teachings, though. They thought Calvin was a little too strict. Alright, so you go LCP. You down with LCP? Yeah, you know me. Alright, so then you get other Protestant reformers. The Anabaptists. They believed only older people old enough to choose to be Christian. Church and state should be separate. Where have we heard that before? And because they refused to fight in wars, and because of these beliefs, they were hated by the Catholics and the Protestants. So the Catholics are over here. You got the Protestants, who are basically L, C, and P. They don't like each other, and over here is the Anabaptist. But you know who they both don't like are the Anabaptists. So there's not a lot of love going around. Alright, the Catholic Reformation. So the Catholics see and they say, holy cow, a lot of people aren't happy with the way we're running our church. Why don't we fix it? This is known as the Catholic or the Counter-Reformation. Jesuits, members of the Society of Jesus, founded by Ignatius Loyola. I remember this because my friend went to Loyola College, and they were a Jesuit university. They built amazing schools. They converted non-Christians to Catholicism, and they wanted to stop the spread of Protestantism. For instance, Providence College, a Jesuit school. Loyola College, a Jesuit school. So this is something else that still has a direct connection to today. Jesuits. And so that was part of this Counter-Reformation. There were wars fought until 1648, and then during the time of Pope Paul III, he called together the Council of Trent, and he wanted to fix the Catholic Church. One of the things he founded were the Jesuits, and the Catholic kings all sent missionaries to convert people. Hey, if we can't keep them at home, let's go get some new ones away. 4 important steps. 1, he investigated the selling of indulgence. Interestingly enough, he says, indulgence are okay except if they're fake. Fake indulgence are bad. He approves the Jesuit order, Loyola College, things like that. He used the Inquisition to try and punish heretics. He called the meeting of the Council of Trent. After Pope III, if you had one, you get Paul IV. He made up an index of burning books, and he starts burning all the books considered dangerous to the church. Which is ironic because on some level this is overlapping with the Renaissance, so some people are probably going out of their gourd. Pope Paul III. The Council of Trent was the Catholic bishops and cardinals agreed on several things. But the church's interpretation of the Bible was final. Anyone who used their own interpretation was a heretic. Part of the problem here is people are getting the book in their hands for the first time. There's the book because of the printing press. Faith in good works are needed for salvation. That's how you get to the big house upstairs. The Bible and the church are equally powerful. And again, we talked about this. Indulgences are valid, but fake ones are not. How do you know the difference? I can't tell the difference, can you? More Counter-Reformation. 30 Years' War, the worst religious wars of the Reformation. Protestants to the north of Europe, Catholics to the south. War. Then we talked about this. The Spanish Inquisition executed well over 200,000 Spaniards. And the King Henry IV of France, a Catholic king, allowed French Huguenots, French Protestants, to worship in France. Alright? That is a vocabulary word right there. The Huguenots. Who are they? They're the French Protestants that King Henry IV of France allowed to worship. I'm just not sure if he's going to play catcher today or if he's going to fight for Catholicism. And we've already King Henry VIII, I am. He ruled, King Henry VIII rules for 38 years. He had 6 wives. He wanted an annulment. And since he didn't get his annulment, he basically says, well, I'm going to start my own church. King Henry VIII of England starts the Anglican Church. England Anglican. Alright. Hello, have you met me? This guy has some serious In video 17.3, we discuss who all these women are and their children. So here's the problem. It goes back and forth. Henry's daughter, Mary, becomes the queen in 1553. She takes it from Anglican to Catholicism. She had Protestants arrested and burned 300 at the stake, hence Bloody Mary. After 5 years, Mary died, and her sister Elizabeth came in. Elizabeth says, nope, we're going to go from Catholicism back to Anglican. So it goes A-C-A. Bloody Mary. Elizabeth I. Let me see something here. Bloody Mary, come back. Nah, there's not. I was going to say that there were some key differences, but there weren't. Right? Here's the legacy of the Reformation. So why are we studying it? It creates these new churches, new denominations, and because of that outside pressure, the Catholic Church is even more unified. Education becomes emphasized in both churches, the Catholic and the Protestant. Because of this, Catholic Church's power, and that creates a power vacuum. Some people saying, oh, I love my church. They say, I love our country. The power of individual priests, or individual kings, monarchs, goes up. And it starts being okay to ask questions. If you can ask questions about what's a good religion, you can ask all types of other questions, hence the Enlightenment. I like this. Here's the change. Here's the way it played out in the Ren. Here's the way it played out in the Ref. Pa-ting, pa-ting, pa-dum, pa-dum. Good. I like this. Ignore this. This is old. Alright? Dissent means why were you mad, bro? You mad, bro? Here's the reason people are mad. That leads to the Protestant Reformation. The reaction is the Catholic Reformation. And that leads to boom, 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 boom. Secular ideas, not of the church. That sounds a lot like the Renaissance. Alright? Hey guys, it's all over now but the crying. Alrighty then. Have a good night. Bye.